Hello, welcome again. Round two. All right, thank you so much for coming out today. We're here at a fantastic facility, and a big shout out to Museum London for everything that's happening here today. It's a fantastic facility. If you haven't been here, take some time to check the space out. It is amazing. We're lucky to have a gem like this in this community. Today is about Words Fest and about words and music. As a UNESCO City of Music, it is a priority of ours and a focus of ours to work with the other arts disciplines. Creative cities of literature exist across the world. Our closest UNESCO city of literature is Quebec City. We don't have a Quebec artist today, but we have an amazing all local lineup for you today. So round of applause for that. So if the artists could start making their way up towards the stage now. I'm going to get off the microphone here shortly. I'm Corey Crossman with the London Music Office. This has been an amazing partnership that we've done, I think, 3 times now with Words Fest and Museum London. And so we're thrilled to be doing this again. We hope that everybody's safe and comfortable here. We want to make sure that everyone has a good time. So today it's important to also recognize, the storied history of this community, and that there's been songwriters and musicians a part of this community for thousands of years. And we're really lucky to be here to share this on the river here today at Museum London. So I'm going to turn it over to your host, Zara Habib, for the next step.
Hi, everyone. I ruined the surprise earlier, so my biggest apologies for that. But yes, I am your host. Thank you, Corey. Let's give it up one more time for everything that Corey had said. Let's give it up for the artists who are now making their way onto the stage. Thank you. Thank you. And yes, welcome, you guys. Welcome. So we're going to get into the night and into the program momentarily. I just want to first introduce myself so you know who I am and why I'm here. My name is Zara Habib. Recently, I've been going by the name Zara Shakti. I am a London-raised artist, producer, DJ, musician, and community builder. Previously, I've worked in different spaces in London, such as CHRW, the mighty CHRW 94.9, as program director, radio host, and following that, I started a local project, which had me also here last year, speaking on a very similar kind of panel. And I did that in partnership with the London Music Office and the Forest City Film Festival with sponsorship from Film London, and that's called the ISO Project, which was a music video incubator dedicated specifically for local artists of color who are musicians, who have recorded music, and who want help with creating a music video. So what we did was we picked one artist through a selections process that included lots of consultations and applications, and I gathered a jury from recognized dancers, producers, musicians, artists from around Canada. And long story short, we have our first video in post-production right now, and it will be coming out at the end of March, beginning of April, for a Miss Eleanor Gabrou, a local songstress who also has a family member on the stage, very talented family, as we will surely see momentarily. But yes, please keep your eyes up for Eleanor Gabrou's song, Waste My Time, which she performed at this festival, premiered the song because it's still unreleased, at this festival last year on this stage with me. So really, it's kind of a full circle moment here for not really myself, for London music as a whole. So I just want to give thanks for that. So again, I'm not going to talk too much more, but there's just a couple more housekeeping items that I want to get to right away, and then soon we'll be enjoying our time, a very special and precious and limited time with these wonderful people and very talented musicians. So first thing, please help yourself to drinks and food in the back. It's there for you, it's there to be enjoyed, and it's provided courtesy of the River Room, I believe. Nobody told me that, but I know the museum only gets its food from the River Room because it's that good. So let's give it up for everyone who's making the food for us, setting the table. Let's please give it up for Chuck on the visuals and the sound, as well as to Josh and the camera people who I apologize, I don't know who to thank, but you got them right there. So please give it up for them, for our lovely hosts and hostesses. And also for all of you, because let's face it, it was a really cold last couple of days. And even though the weather was nice tonight, you still found the energy to come and make it out. See, I had time to refine it. I made it a little bit better that time. Okay. So being as we are in a city that we now call London, and we've known through much conversation and consultation that still needs to keep going and needs to keep happening, that this land was stewarded by people for generations, way before many of us who are in this room right now were on this land, or our parents were on this land, or our grandparents were on this land. And many tribes and many people were on this land before, but the three that we speak of the most are the Haudenosaunee, the Lenape-Wauk, and the Anishinaabeg peoples, who again have stewarded this land for generations prior to us, and we are now able to, they took such good care of it, showed it so much love, that we are able to come and thrive being who we are and live the way that we do. So we always want to keep that in mind as a UNESCO City of Music, to remember different cultures who contribute to the world of music and arts and culture that we get to enjoy. That also being said, we just finished the month of February, which this year was a very short month, 28 days. And that means Black History Month drew to a close. There were many efforts in the City of London, including the inauguration, which took place right here, to commemorate the Black artists and individuals, developers, culture makers, and tastemakers of the past and present, and the future. So we want to give thanks to that and acknowledge that. March is a new month, and many of us, and maybe some of us don't know, but March is known as the month of women, the International Month of Women. And all over the world, you know, the status of women is different and very context specific and relates to the places and spaces that those women find themselves in. I'm dressed like this and specifically covering most of my face, not because of COVID. I don't care for wearing a mask anymore. I spent too much time doing that. But today and in the last few days, women in Iran and young schoolgirls in Iran have been facing toxic gas for participating in the protests against the regime, which is currently persecuting women for showing their hair, for not abiding by what the regime says for them to do. And as a woman who comes from that region, I think a lot about what privilege I have to be here, because I didn't choose consciously what family I was going to be born in. I didn't decide that my family was going to immigrate over here and have the freedom that we do have. So on March 1st, on this International Month of Women, you know, especially being a woman in music, a woman in the music industry, more than anything, we're judged from the way that we look. You know, as a woman myself in the music industry, I can attest to that. And not to put you guys on stage, but you know, I see you nodding your head. And that's just how it is for women in general as a society. So really, out of sight, out of mind. I'm dressed like this because you can't get away from this for the next 2 hours. And I just want to shed some light on that. Again, as a UNESCO City of Music, it's something that I believe we need to also participate in order to really live up to that honor that we have. So thank you so much for your time and for letting me say all of that. If you know me, you know that I'll never lose an opportunity to speak words to what I think needs to be spoken. So thank you. That's the most that I'm going to speak tonight. So I was working it because I felt that was okay. For the rest of the night and beginning now, we're going to hear from these artists. I'm going to ask each one of them to introduce themselves because, again, I spoke a little too much already. But I also think that in this day and age of music, art and musicians are much more complicated than they used to be. So let's hear from them how they want to speak about themselves. After we do that, we're going to stay with one artist at a time. So when you introduce yourself, I would like you to start talking about the first song that you're going to perform. And I'll give you more cues at that point after, but we're going to just talk about these artists and their songs. And after a little bit of discussion, they'll perform their song. We'll move on to the next artist and do 3 rounds of that. Okay? Does that sound good? Yeah. Y'all still with me? Thank you. All right. So first, we're going to get started with the lovely artist on my right here. That's not right. River Woods.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm going to hold this because I'm fidgety. I'm great. Thanks so much for having me. This is a beautiful space and a beautiful event. And I stalked all these artists before, and they're all amazing. So you're in for a real treat.
Awesome.
So like I
Tell
said,
us about you.
my name is River Woods. It's my artist name. My given name is Julia Appleton. I will share more about that shift later. But for tonight, you can call me River. This is my partner, Francie. He co-wrote these songs you'll be hearing tonight. And I asked him to join me because I'm learning guitar, but you don't want to hear me play guitar yet. I'm a keyboard player. And these songs, wanted to get a little bit out of my comfort zone as a writer and write something on a different instrument, because that can help a lot. So let's see, about me. It's always hard to sum yourself up. I've been writing music since I was 7. I am American. I was born in Los Angeles. I spent most of my life in Nashville. So this type of event in Nashville, it's called a writer's round. So I've done a lot of these style events. This is by far the nicest one. So go to Nashville, it's great, but you're not missing much. And what else? I recently put out a 5-song EP as River Woods, my first release under that
Yes,
name.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Is that your
much.
first EP?
It's my first EP, yes.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. So this is my first official gig as River Woods. I have performed before as Julia, but it was important for me to kind of separate myself a little bit from the art, create a container, maybe so that I could show up the way that I wanted to and not the way that I've been showing up since I was a kid. I had very aggressive stage parents. Hi, Mom. She's streaming. I love you. Which was so great, but I feel like at some point as a writer, you have to kind of decide, like, who am I as a writer? And I think, I don't know if any of you can relate to this, but I've definitely had people tell me who they think I should be, what kind of music they think I should sing. So River Woods is my attempt at trying to figure that out for myself. Despite that separation from my given name to my artist name, surprise, I ended up writing some of the most vulnerable, real songs I've ever written in my life. So you're definitely going to get a peek into my diary this evening. The first song that I'm going to play for you guys tonight, it's called What If? And we all collectively went through something really traumatic with the pandemic and just with the way the world is. And the last couple of years, my anxiety really started to get the better of me. And I found myself spending days, hours, not being able to sleep, just contemplating, what if this goes wrong, and what if that, and what if this. And this song was kind of my way of working through that. And I feel like I've kind of, I'm not in the valley anymore. I'm heading towards a peak, so I'm feeling solid. But I think that you guys might relate to this one, and I hope you do. So here it is, What If? What if my time is already come and gone? What if I think that I'm right, but I've got it so wrong? What if tomorrow's the day that I never wake up? Did I waste my last moments on earth feeling lonely and stuck? What if I don't make it home from the grocery store? What if all of my friends think that I am a chore? Or what if I'm dying, my back's always sore? Tell me, can you feel this knot? What if my husband breaks up with me over a text? What if we have a kid and we never have sex? So what if he wishes he married his ex? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Can someone tell me what the hell this is? Oh What if I drive through at Wendy's and I start to choke and I die in my Subaru scared and alone, and the people are honking, they want to get home, but I'm blocking the road? What if I don't call my dad back and he has a stroke? What if I am addicted to cannabis smoke? What if everyone thinks that my music's a joke and I've wasted my life? Oh my God, I'm a joke. I am 30 years old and I'm broke and I just want to smoke crap. Can someone tell me what the hell this is? Oh, why am I obsessed with what if? What if? What if? What if? What if? Ooh, what if? Oh, what if? I lie in bed awake at night inside my overactive mind. I don't know what I hope I'll find in here. When worse than all these crippling thoughts is one more thing that I forgot. There is something greater that I fear. What if everything works out the way that it should, and I share how I'm feeling and I'm understood, and I put out this song and you think that it's good? Thank you, I need to go cry now. What if I delete TikTok and I'm still okay? What if I find a church where it's fine if you're gay? What if I'm in the drive-thru, the person ahead of me paid for my coffee? What if? Oh, what if? What if? What if? Thank you guys. Wow.
Nicely done. Why do you say wow?
Hi, you know everything in my head now. We broke the ice, so.
Well, see, that's the thing about your music, River. You're extremely personal, right? And you kind of touch things right on the head in your music. What was the process of writing that song?
I think the seed, I always call like a song idea a seed. I love that because it's like you gotta find the right soil, otherwise it never sprouts. So the seed for that was most definitely that like I said, I've been doing music my whole life. I'm 31. I'm a woman. My clock is a ticking, and there was a lot of expectation on me when I was younger. To be somebody, to be a star, to get a record deal. And like I said, my parents were incredible in how much they supported me. But when you're told when you're 13 that you're going to be somebody, and then you're 31 and you're not somebody, that's something you have to carry. And so I think I had this like really sad, like hopeless moment alone in my house where I'm like, what if my time is already come and gone? Like, what if I'm wasting my time? And I brought it to him and I was like, I wrote a song, but I can't release it because the things that I'm saying in the song. And he was like, well, you got to release it. So he helped me refine it a little bit. It was a little pointier before, if you can imagine. But yeah, it was cathartic. I think before that song, I wasn't really being fully honest with how I was feeling. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
How important is it for you to be so direct and so specific about your personal life in your music?
I mean, I think for me, to be an artist, I have to. Like, I'm a writer for other artists as well. I coach songwriting. Like, songwriting is my love language being an artist is its own thing. And so it's really fun for me to pair up with an artist and figure out who are you and what do you have to say and what's important for you to communicate to the world. And I don't have to do that unless I'm an artist. And so to put on that artist hat was very, very revealing of like, okay, well, I can't in good conscience like coach this out of artists and not like practice what I preach. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's a big one for artists. It's really owning your agency in the music that you make. So you can make it really as personal as you'd like, as mysterious as you'd like, as indirect, or even just make up a whole new character, make up a whole new life. And artists do all combinations of those things.
Oh, absolutely. And for the record, like River Woods is way braver than Julia Appleton. River Woods will say things that I will not. And that's nice. That's nice to know that I have a path, like a container for those feelings and those thoughts, and I can keep those things to myself as a person if I want to.
River Woods, quickly, can you tell us how you came up with that name?
Yeah.
Or why that is your name?
Absolutely. I am gonna, song number 3 kind of explains that more. So if you want, I can share more about that later. Okay. It's like, that's my talking point on that song. Oh no.
That's fine. Well, I can pivot because that was actually just the teaser question, like the dip your toes question. So River Woods is a very visual name, and I think very suited for London.
Yes.
Did you get that name before or after you came to London? Just give us a hint.
After.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I would have guessed that. It's a visual name. It makes me think of the river flowing through the woods in a forest. So strange, right? Why would it make me think that? But how do you become River Woods? What's that process for you when you want to sit down and write a song, and you want to write a song and as River Woods versus as Julia? What's the difference there? Or what do you do?
Clothes help. I don't just wear these weird 90s clothes every day. I'm like a sweatpants, t-shirt kind of gal. But truly, like the aesthetic of River, the rebellious of River, like that, all of those things. She is a character, really. Like I said, she says things that I wouldn't say. She does things that I wouldn't do. Like I picture, I guess when I'm going to sit down and write a song for her, I'm always like, okay, Julia, like quiet the noise in your voice, and like just constantly going off in your head as you heard in What If, and like, who are you? What do you actually want? And I think that as humans, not just as artists, that's like a really challenging exercise sometimes. So if I'm writing a song and I'm not asking those questions, even if I'm doing it in a playful way, which we will get to in song number 2, I think that I'm missing the mark, at least for my artist brand. It's like, it has to be like truly, honestly, who I am, what I want.
So then how do you differentiate between Julia and River Woods as an artist brand?
Well, Julia Appleton is not releasing songs that, like, as a person, I'm, like I said, I'm writing for other artists, and I love partnering with people and helping them figure out who they are and what they want. So it's really just that pivot of like, okay, now I have to do that for myself really intentionally. Like, again, my mom who's watching, she's an aspiring songwriter, and I've been working with her to just help her develop her craft. She's really into like country rock blues. So I'm like, when I write with my mom, it's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's get into that mindset, which, as you can tell, is very different than where I go with my instincts. So I don't know. I guess it's like holding up a mirror.
That you have to do relatively frequently, because getting outside of that, and this is something that I really appreciate for artists, especially those who adopt another, like a pseudonym, another alias, because we already have enough masks that we go through and that we wear, and then to have to sit down and write music coming from the heart and still feeling like it's representative of you, that requires kind of another level of staying grounded.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. It helps. I co-write a lot of my songs, and I can't remember if I told you all this, but he's my husband. He's my co-writer. He's my producer. Like, he is my MVP. And I do write songs on my own, but I do think it can be very valuable as an artist, as a songwriter, to say, like, yeah, can I finish a song on my own? Is this great? Awesome. But also, like, you know, if you take your ego out of that and say, but am I too close to this? Especially if you're writing something that's really personal to you. It's like, maybe I'm holding on to this lyric or to this melody that, like, I feel, and then it's not landing with the audience. And when you have somebody helping you, they can point those things out. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
Quick question for the audience. By just a show of hands, when you listen to music, those of you who connect first or look first, or, you know, your attention first goes to the lyrics, raise your hand.
Oh.
Can you raise them just a little higher? All right. Okay. So as you can see, lyrics are quite important. How about groove, music, let's say, or sound? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, now we know. Thank you so much, River. Julia. We're going to move on to the next artist. Emmanuel, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Emmanuel. I'm from London, Ontario. Yeah, I'm an artist. I consider myself an artist, a singer, a songwriter, a creative director. Yeah, I create from a place like where it's like perfect. It works like therapy for me. It works like a profession, a way to connect with people as well too, a way to tell my story, and a way to find my way around the world so I can hear as many stories as I possibly can while I have time on this earth to hear stories. And this song in particular is about a love that took place between Los Angeles, New York, and neighboring Connecticut. And it's about a big push and pull. It was about trying to force certain things to work when, you know, it's not always our timing. It's not always our will that can make something happen. You know, so it's about that. But yeah, can you run licks, Chuck? Thank you. She
While we're waiting for Chuck.
She wanna fly, get on this spaceship, go to the moon, me and you. She wanna ride in different places, so make some room. She got no rules, no ties. Legs go for miles and control the room. It's a monsoon, but how are you? And I'm supposed to love. Is it strong enough? Tell me, are we strong enough to love? Baby, that would be enough. That would be enough. That would be enough. That would be enough. Till I saw you dancing on that pole, and I never get old. I'm missing after the show. wanna take you where you wanna go. Are we strong enough to love? Be that would be enough. That would be enough. Ooh, waiting outside, begging you to call me. Waiting outside, begging you to call. Oh yeah, begging you. She wanna fly, get on this spaceship. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. Stop it.
Chuck, check. Thank you, Chuck. Wow, beautiful. Thank you, Emmanuel.
Thank you so much.
So you said that song was about a love that took place between LA, New York, and Connecticut. Did the songwriting take place between LA, New York, and Connecticut?
No, the songwriting took place post relationship here. Oh, the songwriting took place post relationship here in London.
Okay, in full.
Yeah, in full, from the beginning to the end.
And did you write that in one sitting?
Yeah, that was a freestyle.
That was a freestyle you did.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, please give it up more for that.
Thank you guys. Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you.
yeah. So is that an approach that you often use in your songwriting? You freestyle it off the top?
Yeah, I found that I water myself down a lot when I write. Even like sometimes I write stuff that I use, and uh, I just found that it worked the best for me to be able to just go and freestyle. If I'm singing with feeling, then I'm singing in the right direction. I think so.
Wow. Yeah. And I mean, some of the greatest artists that we've had were able to do something like that. When you are inspired, is that something that just happens out of the blue, out of the norm? Or do you need to get yourself in the zone to just be creative? What's your process to get in there?
How to get hit by lightning? I don't even know. Like it feels. It feels like all of the above. I feel like there's a lot of times artists we try to get ourselves into the zone using a lot of different methods, and then I feel like lived experience is the best thing, and you just being able to sit back and be still and be with your thoughts and be with your experiences in their fullness.
So as someone who doesn't often put pen to paper when it comes to your songs,
Yeah.
still when you get up to the microphone or you're in the studio and you are saying things, those are still the result of some clear reflection and deliberation at some point that you do. So what does that look like for you? When are you doing that? Do you journal?
No, I think it's just in moments of quiet reflection. I think like moments where you really have. I think like moments where you're like you can humble yourself, and moments where you can like really just sit there and listen to somebody else's story, and really feel somebody else's pain, and you can realize like the connectivity that exists in that, and just like how beautiful that is, and how important everybody's story is. It's a movie.
So you think you can say that again into the microphone?
I'm so
all
sorry.
Of that, all of what you just said. Do you remember that? Because you said some
Yeah,
cool
I remember what I
things.
said. I think it's just really important to be present, and I think it's really important to be able to humble yourself, to be able to humble yourself in the moment, to be able to have like a beautiful experience with music, or like a beautiful experience listening to somebody's story, and how important that can be, like a movie.
Like a movie?
Just like a movie, like it's how you like really feel privileged to be watching that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got more questions to ask you, but I want to make sure that we're on time. All right. So thanks, Emmanuel. I'll ask you my question hopefully in the second round if we get there.
Okay.
But yeah, how's check on the audience? We're halfway through our
How we
our
doing,
roster.
audience?
How we doing? Yeah?
Wonderful.
All right. Thank you, Emmanuel. Okay, next up, we have Magenta. Welcome, Magenta.
Hi, thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing very, very good.
That's great. Yeah, so I'm Magenta. My given name is Megna. I was born in Newcastle, England. I moved here with my family around 12 years ago. I'm 17 years old, so I'm a bit of a newbie to this industry. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like I'm just trying to get my foot in the door in this industry. I have 4 songs out right now, and I'm putting out an EP actually tonight at midnight. Thank you. Yeah. So I first think I started writing when I was like 12 years old. It really came naturally to me as just a form of, I guess, kind of therapy and just being able to feel my emotions and be able to communicate them. And think that something that I think I realized is that I'm not very good at communicating just by like speaking, and I find that I'm the best at sharing my emotions through songwriting. And I feel like if I just sent my therapist my songs, she'd just know what's wrong with me, but that's a different issue. But yeah, this first song I'm gonna play is called Finding Myself. It's the first song I ever wrote and the first song I released. I wrote it near the beginning of the pandemic when I just had a lot of time to like self-reflect. And it's a song about my own realization of my queerness, and that was something really important to me at that time, especially when I was thinking what song I wanted to release. It was a really honest and vulnerable song, and that was really scary to release, but it also felt right because of just how freeing it felt for that to be the first song to put out. And in this song, I'll be describing a girl. This girl is not real. She's more of a metaphor for that realization that came during that time. And yeah, this is called Finding Myself.
It was Monday, maybe Tuesday, the day I had finally chose to accept that this was real, that this is me. I can't lie anymore. She had brown eyes, maybe green eyes, and freckles that dotted her nose. She had a warm heart and a kind smile. It was a feeling I didn't yet know. Was it right, or was it wrong to feel this way? I wasn't sure. Was I lost, or was I finding myself more and more? It was the first day I met you. I couldn't see past your eyes, so deep and confusing. I couldn't understand why. And you spoke oh so softly. Each word took me deeper into your life. This daydream we live in, I wish I could just freeze all time. Was it right, or was it wrong to feel this way? I wasn't sure. Was I lost, or was I finding myself more and more? I was falling and afraid, and you were just what I needed. You could see that I was lost, so you helped and you pleaded to not worry about heaven or hell. Just worry about finding yourself. Don't worry about heaven or hell. Just worry about finding yourself. Don't worry about heaven or hell. That's what you said the night that I fell for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, I loved it.
Thank you.
When you were writing that song, do you remember some of those questions you were asking yourself about where you are, who you are, where you've been? What was on your mind when you were writing that song?
Yeah. So I was like 14 when I wrote that song. So it feels like a lifetime ago now, but I feel like during that time I was able to be exposed to just so much queer media, and I think that was especially through social media, and that was when like TikTok was becoming a big thing. And just that ability to be able to see other queer artists out there really got me into that headspace of asking myself of like, okay, I feel like I can relate to these people. Maybe I am a part of this community, and eventually that brought me to the sense of, okay, I'm accepting that I am, and maybe that's okay. And then there was that little bit of back and forth of, I think, a little bit of being scared of, since it was just something so new to me, and something that wasn't really talked about in like my family, or like I didn't see too much around me. But yeah, just that back and forth talking with myself eventually led me to the area of feeling accepted. Thank you.
And so what is the name of your project coming out tonight?
It's called Lost in Plain Sight.
Lost in Plain Sight? Are you going to be performing that in the second round?
The last song is actually another one from that EP, but
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Just in the interest of time, I'm going to save another burning question I have for you for the next one, so that I can commit to making sure we get through the second one.
thank you.
Thank you, Magenta. Please give it up. Okay, last of this round, and certainly not least, we have Brent Jackson.
Chick,
How are you doing, Brent?
I'm all right. How are you?
We're good. We're good.
I've got a lot of nerves right now. I think this is the first time. This is the second time I've ever done anything like this, but the other one was a lot more low key.
Okay. Well, how about we start, because we'd love to get you warmed up on the mic.
Yeah.
How about you start by telling us a little bit about you, and if you would like to also describe or tell us a bit about your music, we would love to hear. We're all ears.
My name is Brent Jackson. I've been a songwriter since I was about 12 years old. Playing guitar around that same time. I was a teenager in like the mid '90s, so music was very exciting for me, and it still is. Music is like the number one. It's like it's a lifelong. I walk hand in hand with this until I'm gone. Like that's it. It's me and music. So
Beautiful.
it's absolutely entirely my identity. Anything that else that I have to do is, aside from the love in a relationship, is music. So so I played in a band for 17 years. We were called The Junction. We started the band in 1997, but we didn't call our band The Junction until 2000. And I experienced a lot of really career high moments in that band. I was growing up with some very conventional older parents that had wanted to see me continue education. I have a memory of being in grade 4 and counting the years left of school and knowing that I was going to dread the entire thing. I knew that the entire time I just wanted to get out of school so that I could just do music. And it was just the dream that I held on to. And basically, the band sort of thing happened when I was in grade 10, grade 11. By the time I finished high school, my relationship with my mom had pretty much deteriorated. And I felt like I just had to prove that music was going to do something for me. And I think the only way that it would have made sense to her is to do something that is business. So I remember sort of calling the shots in those years. I was probably more naive and less introverted. And I was like, Mom, I'm going to get signed. And it happened. I got signed, and I got the band signed to Universal Records. Thanks. And it was a big accomplishment. It meant a lot to me. It meant to me that as a songwriter, I was the songwriter for the band. It meant that I could make my dreams come true. And in the end, that really didn't end up being, the be-all, end-all for me, because I'll try and make this quick. But basically, I had a brief stint on a major label. And as exciting as it was, you really realize what you're up against. Like the day the record came out, this was 2007, I'm wondering, why there isn't enough push on the record. And it's because we're a brand new band, right? And they're like working 50 Cent record, so they have to make sure that the money rolls in. So then I guess that ended, and I have this really clear memory of coming home. Was playing a show in Regina, and the band we got really pumped to just drive all the way back to Universal to get off the label, because we had sort of thought, music had sort of hit a point for me that it was larger than that. I think when I was younger, I used to think that the fame was the only sort of way to get there, but I've always put lyrics, my lyrics at the forefront, and music has always been, like you said, sort of the, I'm at my most intelligent, at my most pure, at I can speak the best through my songs. So they're very, very important to me. And I remember I was going to say this, but so we got back, we got off the label. And this is by no means me saying poo-poo on the industry. It's honestly great. I think there's good people, and then there's, not so much. So, but I remember coming home that day, and I looked very strung out. My mom had asked what was up, and I said, well, we just drove 40 hours from, Saskatchewan, and, we've parted ways with this label. And she burst into tears, and her devastation was as though that was the only thing that would make sense for me to continue. So it was like, what are you going to do now? And I guess what I'm trying to say about this is I'm 41 now, and I was about 25 or so, and my songs have meant more to me. My songwriting's gotten better. My opportunities have been consistent, and it's because I love and put everything into music like I would in true love of a relationship. It's just a pure transfer, and music has been my best friend in the darkest times. It's been the thing that can keep me going. And anyway, I just want to thank Corey for also hooking me up with this, because Corey knew my old band and used to help book us back in the, 15 years ago. But anyway, I have a new band called Sunshine Makers, and I'm doing it all over again. I think that you have time always, I remember when I used to get so scared about time running out, or like you need to be a certain age to make something work, and that's just not the case. It's like the more you put the effort into what you love, the better you get at it. And age is useless to spend time fearing about. There's so many things that it's like we're spit into this world to already feel insecure. And I think the thing is, put the self-love, believe in yourself, and continue on that path. Because really self-love is all we got. The best we can be to anyone else is if we're the best with ourselves, right?
Oh my God, yes. And, I kind of would like us to just take a quick pause and let all of that sink in, before you get into your song. Just let that sink in, what he said. And thank you for shedding your wisdom and your light on that perpetual question of, is there going to be enough time? What is it going to take? What if this doesn't work out? What if I'm not, because that I think is, it's the question. It's the big question that all artists are constantly asking themselves. And that was some real gems and some real wisdom that you just shared on it. So thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Whenever you're ready.
Check. I'm going to start with this one. It's probably the most sort of in a 3-minute song, sums up sort of where I'm coming from as a songwriter. I'm a believer of love and optimism, but I don't run away from the darkness. I think it's the straight line through it all is the knowledge. So it's called Immerse Yourself in Life. In life is a peace of mind to give back to this place. It's the least I could do for the love that went through to turn me out on this side. Immerse yourself in life. Immerse yourself in life. When I was young, I cried to my mom that I never want to die. But he gave me an eye to look on the bright and embrace all my time. Immerse yourself in life. Immerse yourself in life. Ooh. yourself in life. Immerse yourself in life. Immerse yourself in life. Immerse yourself in life. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Francie and I were having a jam over here in the corner. Brent, just gonna tell you right now that I'm actually gonna, not yet, but restart the Robin with you, and we're gonna go backwards. So in just a moment, I will ask you to play your second song.
Okay.
But before we do that, I do have a question for you regarding your songs.
Yeah.
Do you ever, just in general, or you can think about the process of writing that song, do you ever think about how other people feel, how might they feel when they hear your music, when you're in the creative process?
Yeah, I consider it for sure. I feel, I don't know, there was a period of time where I sort of, as I was developing as a songwriter, I was writing lyrics, but I didn't sort of put the importance into what I wanted to say. And then when it started to make sense to me, I was like super naive and super optimist. And I knew that I could sort of see at a certain time, nothing at this point really tremendously bad happened in my life to, so I was always like, on this up perspective, like it's just perspective, and I really realized after, for me, the changing in me was a heartbreak. And when I felt the lows of that, I sort of self-reflected and I was like, oh man, like the last thing that I intended to do was be preachy. And I think that in some sort of way at that time, I became an advocate to grievance. And I felt that it was good to exploit the upset that we have in us that seems to, for the most part, seems to be silenced or wants to be silenced. So to answer your question, I think that there was an interview with John Lennon. He was a huge one for me. And this was something that was super minimal and made immediate sense, was that he was being asked, I think he was challenged a lot in the sort of, hairpiece bed days. A lot of people, like, it really put a divide onto, that's like a social experiment to see, how many people want to call you nuts or how many people are actually just legit and with you. And that song, Give Peace a Chance, it's before it says, all we are saying. And he described that as all we are saying is as a way to say, hey, look, like this is a suggestion. It's not saying it's just this way. And I think that for me that really resonated. So I always want to connect to people, and I think that music connected to me in such a way that it's impacted my life to make me want to do it for the rest of my life. So in honor of that, I want to put that care and that message in that way in my music, because we all have different thoughts, and I don't think that at any point, who am I to say, hey, look, it's gotta be like this. I want to see the world change in better ways, but I have no clue how to make it happen. I know that if I put my real honest heart and love into it, that's about the best I can do. So that's why I'm going to do it, because that's about the best I can be.
Well, you figured it out, man. You figured it out because that's it. So would you like to play for us your second song? Okay. And before you do that, do you or yourself or Magenta? You guys want some water? All right.
I might need a water.
Okay, we'll pass it down the line.
I'm so high maintenance. Thank you. So I'm doing my next song.
Whenever you're ready. What's the name of the song?
I'm gonna do a song called Blue Sky. When I was young, I'm like an 80s kid, so I was fascinated. I mean, my first band that I got into was the Beatles. So by that fascination, the 60s comes along with it, and for some reason it just seemed, I'm sure, to anyone that had been in it, there's obviously in any decade you're in, there's ups and downs, but for me, it seemed like it had this moment to maybe break through more than anything that I had sort of experienced as a teenager. So I sort of was like in love with the lyrics about love and togetherness, and I really like that idea. And there's this cool sort of point in the movie. It's also a Hunter S. Thompson book, but Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, where there's a moment where Hunter sort of touches on I can't really quote it right now, but he sort of touches on where the 60s dream sort of died. And I've watched a lot of like documentaries on like the drug aspect of it and Nixon and all the reasons why, mind expanding stuff is bad and blah, blah, blah. I think that anything that gets you in touch with your inner self and lets lets your light shine in any sort of way is a good way. Not to say that you got to do the wacky stuff to get there. Anyway, this song is sort of touching on that. It's like blue sky, where did you go? And I think that's, for me, I've realized that this is a metaphor to like in some of the sort of dreary, world-weary times that I've been in my life, where I'm like caring too much about the world and it gets heavy on me, and I'm thinking that it's like doomsday all the time. That's sort of what this song was, and I think it's about 12 or 13 years old, but it's still, to me, I'm still very proud of it. So I thought it would be a good one to play. Where did you go, blue sky? Where did you go? Where have you gone? Where have you been for so very long? Oh, blue sky, where did you go, blue sky? Where did you go? Did you shy away? Did you dissipate? Did we miss the train? For as long as I can cry for you, for as long as I can cry for you, I will, blue sky. Sky, hey, 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 hey. Those new times, where did they go? go? New times. Where did they go? Did they shy away? Did they dissipate? Did we miss the train? For as long as I can cry for you, for as long as I can cry for you, while we're blue sky. Where did you go? Where have you gone? Where have you been so long?
Thank you, Brent.
Thank you for
So
listening
much.
to me and for speaking too. I was like sitting here for the first bit of time being like, what the hell am I going to say? And there's moments where you're speaking and you're like, where am I going? Gotta bring it back.
Yeah.
Get a little too nuts.
No, all good, all good. Thank you. It was a lovely note to end on. Magenta.
Yes.
Hello again. So can I ask you my burning question before
Yes,
we
of
get into your
course.
song? Who are your musical influences?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like right now it's Gracie Abrams, Lizzie McAlpine, Ben Kessler, Jeremy Zucker. There's just so many, all in
Who-
that genre.
When you were getting into music, when you're first getting into music, who would you say were the influences or the people that they shine bright for you?
I feel like it was an artist that I listened to so much at the beginning was Chelsea Cutler. And I think her genre of music is quite different from mine, but I think it was her ability to write and like the emotion she put into her songs that really caught my eye and wanted me to get into music. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Would you like to get into your second song for us?
Yes, of course.
Tell us about it.
This song is called Beautiful Broken. One thing about me is I'm a huge empath. So if you're feeling something, I'm likely feeling it too. So this song I wrote, it was inspired by one of my friends. She's a dancer. And she was telling me about how the environment that she danced in was not the best. It led to her eating disorder and just a lot of bad mental health, I guess. But she's just such an amazing dancer, and seeing that contrast of like a toxic environment to the passion she's able to put into her dance, I just thought was so amazing and so beautiful. And seeing how she can put so much emotion into her dance without saying a single word and still being able to convey exactly what she's feeling, that just really struck a note and really amazed me by that. So yeah, this is called Beautiful Broken.
Beautiful broken ballerina, beautiful inside and out, beautiful broken world we live in. Oh, it's hard to see the good in all of the rubble. Beautiful broken ballerina, you light up the stage with the way you move, bring us soul to tears.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And again, Magenta's project, her latest, she's dropping a project tonight at midnight. So if you want to stick around, follow all these artists and keep up to date with their music, remember that they got music coming out as well. How we feeling, audience? Can we get a little vibe check? Yeah? I don't blame you. I don't blame you. A lot of energy coming off of the stage. Manuel. Hey.
Hello.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling all right.
So, you want to tell us a little bit about the second song that you're going to perform?
The second song that I'm gonna perform is really new, written around the same time as the first song, and I think it's like another take on the relationship. I think it's a take on maybe some of I think like some of the playful yet toxic things that we used to do to each other, like that type of push and pull, how it can sort of be fun in the moment, like to believe in that lie. But yeah, that song's about that.
I think that says a lot right there.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get into it?
It's clouds. Thanks, Chuck. Shut up, Chuck. Everybody, Chuck.
Big love for Chuck.
Oh, you is, but you ain't a thief in the night. In a red dress, the dinner was cold, and I called, but you didn't show up. Oh, and it's cold outside, but you warm. So come here and get some of this love. Oh, hey, where's she going? She probably loving someone else. Where's she going? She probably loving. I said, yeah. Tell me, fellas, have you seen her? It was about 5 days ago that I seen the hottest chick that I ever seen before. Ooh, I said, yeah. I really want it. I really want it. I wanted it no more than your name. I really want it. I really want it. Oh, you is, but you ain't a thief in the night with a cold heart, a double-edged sword, and it cuts both ways. Yeah, people die every day, so let's love instead. Let's go up and go down and do it again. Yeah, yeah. Where's she going? She probably loving someone else. Where's she going? She probably fucking. Ooh. Thank you guys so much.
Emmanuel's got the babies grooving. I can't be the only one that saw that.
Let's go, little man.
Straight grooving. I'm serious.
That's what we learned.
That was beautiful. Thank you. I'm going to ask you my question, because I had a question for you too.
The hot question.
The hot question, the burning question.
I'm ready.
When you were first writing songs and creating music, and I know that you've been musical, you've been singing for a little while. Musically, do you remember what you were taking in at that time?
When I first started making music, my cousin filled up my first iPod, and I had everything from like Boys to Men to like Ray J, like One Wish, everything. Chris Brown, his old discography. That's where I even got like that little joint.
Right, 'cause you got the sample.
I had to show love. But yeah, so a lot of Boys to Men, a lot of a lot of gospel, like a lot of
Yeah.
gospel from the States and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we can hear it in the music. You can hear it in the way you sing. I ask you that question because, you know, the way that you sing is so tied with the sound, with the music, you know, like you kind of do a thing like Biggie where you are also an instrument, your voice, you know? And I think I think anyone can do that, but you seem to do it so intentionally when you're performing the song, you know? So I asked that question because I wonder, you know, what went in there.
I think, I was having a conversation with homie, like with the homie earlier about that, and it was like in the moment, if you ask me this question, I can't think of barely none of them. But like, if you were to be sitting down with us earlier, I had like a whole plethora of artists where we were listening, or we were even like, you really be doing like the little it's just like the little nuanced things that they do that you get influenced by that you love to hear over and over again, and so you repeat it and you make it your own. So yeah, I appreciate it.
And that's a huge thing within like R&B and hip hop
Yeah,
and those derivative kinds of music is
Yeah.
the influences are paid so much homage to,
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
right? And in those small details, and whether it's in the music sample or it's in the way you sing a hook or you're reinventing a phrase, you know, like a string of words that you sing differently. All you got to do is, you know, just listen to Motown and listen to 90s R&B and hip hop, and you'll hear that all over.
That's the home team.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you so much, Emmanuel.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Please give it up. We're gonna take some time at the end and just quickly, you know, I'm gonna ask all of you what projects you have coming up, what events, anything that you'd like to promote. We're gonna save some time at the end just to quickly run through that. Just saying. So stick around towards the end. Don't just get up and leave right away. So, but moving on, we'll come to your final song, Riverwoods. So tell us a little bit.
Final countdown.
So this one is the one where we're gonna learn a little bit of your origin story, correct?
So I'm not singing that song, but I'll tell you my origin story.
Okay.
So I wrote a song called Oregon because I told you I grew up in LA and Nashville, but there were these 4 glorious years where my family took a break from showbiz and we moved to beautiful Bend, Oregon, creek in the backyard, and it was just idyllic. Like when I think about my childhood, there was some serious drama going on, but those years I feel like were kind of left unscathed by, you know, divorce and sickness and everything that, you know, we deal with in life. So when we were trying to figure out who the heck Riverwoods is, first of all, we had no name. And Francie actually came to me and had this chorus idea for this song called Oregon, because he knows, I mean, he's my husband. He's like, hey, you always talk about these years of your childhood. You've never written about it. And I really think that you should. So we wrote a song called Oregon, and I lived in Deschutes River Woods at the time. And so I was like, that's kind of got a little nice ring to it. So yeah, I think the container of River Woods is like I said, like it's me at my best, at my purest, at my bravest. And so paying homage to those years of my childhood is kind of like what grounds me in a lot of my music. But I'm not gonna play that one because it's a little slow and it's the end of the night. I want to play something fun. I know. If you want to hear it, it's on Spotify. Okay, Spotify, Apple Music. It's called Oregon. It's great. But this song is called Clueless. It's my first single. And I want to play it for you because, sorry, I'm so ADD. I can't. I'm learning how to like riff and then talk, and I can't. I'll tell you when. So Clueless is a really cool song for me because I was raised on country music. I was raised on the Eagles. I was raised on Elvis. Like my dad was in bands, back in the 60s. So that's what I was raised on. And that's what really influenced my music up until Riverwoods became a thing. And when I was trying to figure out what sound I wanted to go for, I was like, okay, who are the artists that I always thought were so cool, but I could never like really achieve the sound? So those artists that came to mind were like Michelle Branch, Sheryl Crow, like definitely like 90s, lots of attitude, like lots of rebellion. So I bring this idea to Francie, who has been in a rock band since he was in grade 9. And I was like, I have this idea for a song, but I can't pull it off. I need you to help me, like stretch me out of my comfort zone of country and ballads. I'm a piano player. And help me write something that rocks. That's new. And so it's called Clueless because I'm 31 years old. I still feel like I have no idea what I'm doing. Like how do adults function? It's so hard being alive. But I also I didn't want it to be heavy. I wanted it to be fun. I wanted it to be something that people could really rock out to. So
Let's rock.
he's gonna tune. He's tuned. We're gonna rock. It's the end of the night.
Ready?
I'm gonna stand because my bum is numb, and I probably won't hit the notes if I don't stand up. So cool. You guys can get into it too. You can snap, you can clap, whatever your comfort zone is, right? Everyone assumes that I got all my ish together. They think I'm as steady as the California weather, but they don't know what's really going on inside my head. I didn't take my meds today, I usually forget. Yeah, I give some good advice. Yeah, but I can't sleep at night. I'm clueless, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. No, I got a reputation that I can't live up to it. The truth is, I'm clueless. I'm clueless. I got a cushy job up in a shiny silver office, but on my drive home yesterday I almost effing lost it. Cause I keep saying that I'll quit once I get out of debt, but I'm going on a shopping spree. How stupid can you get? I'm clueless, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I got a reputation that I can't live up to it. 'Cause truth is, I'm clueless. Oh yeah. Great. Yes, that's in the song. Yeah, I give some good advice. Oh yeah, I'm clueless, and truth is, I got a reputation, but I don't know. Clueless, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Ooh, I got a little secret, I'll let you in on it. Truth but just for me. I cry in the car when skies are gray. I'm gonna push my friends away. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm being completely serious here, but I heard that Clueless, the movie, is coming back. They're gonna do another version of it.
I hope so.
You should hit him up for some, some sync.
Ooh, that'd be a nice, tasty sync.
What y'all think? Okay, so
Yep.
please help me out here, you guys. Let's show these wonderful artists who just performed their songs back to back some energy. They gave it really their all. They were so open, so vulnerable, so honest.
So sweet, so sweet. Thank you.
Truly, truly very, very special. So thank you guys so much for coming here, taking time out of your schedules and sharing your art. Before we close out, and before Corey comes up and gives us some closing remarks, is there anything that you want to shamelessly promote and shamelessly plug, whether it's an album or a project you got coming up, some shows, anything at all, merchandise, if you have merchandise in the back? All right, tell us about it. Let's hear it.
Yo, she got an album coming out at 12. Y'all better download that. Happy.
Thanks.
I don't have anything for myself.
So humble, so humble. Thank you, Manuel. Anything else?
Yeah,
On
the
the stage?
EP's coming out tonight, midnight. I'm also doing a little EP launch concert tomorrow at Innovation Works at 7:30 p.m. So if you want to listen to some more of my songs live, I'll be there tomorrow. You can buy tickets at the door.
Okay, thank you. Yes, clap for that. And because of the age we live in, you have to do this. Everybody, please tell everyone how they can follow you, stay connected with you, connect with your music, all of that jazz. So let's start over there with Brent.
Basically, all my energy is going towards my band Sunshine Makers. So if you're on Instagram, Sunshine Makers Music, we're playing Rum Runners this next Thursday, the 9th. We're opening for this band called Too Many Zoos. They're from Brooklyn. They're kind of like a horn band. Yeah, this is where all my effort is. We released our first EP 3 weeks ago. So that's it.
Sunshine
Sunshine
Makers.
Makers.
Thank
That's
you.
it. That's where you find me.
Awesome, thank you.
Or Starbucks. That's where I work. Slinging coffee, man.
Magenta.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. My username's magenta_MV. And in the bio, there's a link that'll take you to my music, a pre-save link to my EP, and a link to buy tickets for my concert tomorrow as well.
Thank you. Emmanuel?
You can follow me, you can follow my Spotify, just Emmanuel, and or my Instagram is cellular DADA.
Thank you. And River Woods?
I'm on all the socials, but if I'm being honest, mailing list, email list is the best way to support indie artists because we can directly get that information to you. Social media is great, but then we have to bow to the algorithm so that you actually see it. So if you want to stay in touch with us, sign up for our mailing list. I've got just like a literally physical paper. Just give me your email address. But social media is great too.
Awesome.
Oh, I don't even know. Riverwoods Music, I think. Yeah.
Well, we're going to have some time. We're going to have, I'd say, about half an hour almost when we're done till we got to leave here. So if you want to connect with anyone on the stage or connect amongst yourselves, you got some time to kind of wave us down and speak with us. I'm also going to plug something that I do, and I want to invite it and put it out there and offer it to the whole room right here. I don't know if I mentioned this in my introduction, but I'm also a DJ, and DJing is something I do to build community, to bring music in my own way to people here. And there's some, fellow people who have connected with my radio show in the past, Lunar Rotations. I've been doing that show for 3 years, started it on 94.9 FM, so it really is something that is native to and indigenous to London. And March 24th, we're going to have our second ever live in-person event. So it's really just a dance party where anyone and everyone is welcome. Just come, be who you are, be free to be free, and move your body. Move your body. So if you have any questions about that, connect with me. That's Lunar Rotations. You can connect with me as zara.shakti on Instagram. And of course, just come up and talk. Unfortunately, I don't have posters for that, so it's got to be a face-to-face interaction if you want to know about it, or if you have really good memory. And that's it. That's my plug for myself. So thank you guys. Thank you all so much. That was so beautiful. Thank you to Corey for putting this on, and Museum London and Josh for putting this on too. I apologize, Josh from Words Fest, and Museum London for hosting it. This has been a really great series. It's the second one of this type happening at this festival, so let's keep it going. Thank you for coming out and for your undivided attention these last 2 hours and such. It's a beautiful thing, and we are here to celebrate and enjoy music together in one place. So keep that going, keep it going, and that's it, y'all. Go in peace and love, and we got about another 25 minutes in here, so just connect, talk, chat, chill, have some whatever is left, and we'll see you on the other side. Thank you. Corey's going to say a couple words now as well.
I think we could do one quick song each. Just we won't have discussion, and I'll stop talking and thank everyone for coming, and we'll turn it back over to the musicians. So one song after another, and we've got a couple minutes. So if you got one more, can we make that work? I just think it's been going good. Let's keep the music going if we have some time. So one song each. Brent, if you're ready, or you want to start? Cool. All right, one quick round.
Check, check. Well, thanks again. This is good. Nice to hear everyone up here. Thanks for sticking behind. I know it's late on a Thursday night. There's a couple things still open though. Drive-thrus. Netflix is 24 hours. I've been crushing Golden Girls. I'm like, it took about a year and a half, but I'm in the final season. I think there's about 10 episodes left, and then I've got to try out this Golden Palace. Sans Dorothy. Anyway, I'm gonna play a song called "Got to Be Good." This is a Sunshine Maker song. The song, I'll sort of set it up. Basically, it's sort of Marvin Gaye inspired this song for me. I think specifically the album "What's Going On." I mean, that album's 50 years now, and everything he sings about is still super relevant, which is, in a way, a great thing because you can connect to it, but in another way, it's also really sad because, the content is just to try and find a way to make us get along a little bit better. Anyway, I think that being good to each other is extremely important. Empathy is massive. Love is massive. Peace is massive. Thank you so much for listening to me. We got to bring some love in here today for our friend Marvin Gaye, who say what's going on. Why does a song from 1971 still resonate today? We never changed our way. So many people in the world, we just got to be good, just got to be just got to be good. I want to see this world collaborate. We can't just separate. We're the same under the sun. The cards are falling every single day. I can't unsee this hate. Let's find a better way. So many people in the world. We just got to be good. Just got to be good. So many people in the world. Ooh, so many people in the world. Oh, we just got to be good. Just got to be good. Just got to be. Just got to be good. Got to be. Just got to be. Just got to be. Just got to be. Ooh. Thank you.
Okay, before I get into this last song, just bear with me as I change tuning. I feel like there's a lot I could say about this song, but it is very much in the lyrics, so I'm not gonna say too much. I feel kind of bad. It's a really sad song in comparison to what Brent just played, but anyways, I hope you like it. Okay. Anyways, this is called All the Children. I apologize for playing a sad song at the end of the night, but here we go.
She was my best friend till we both grew up. Now I hear stories about what she does. Drugs in the bathroom of her high school. And for a moment I thought no too soon. But thank God her parents didn't lose a daughter that day. Thank God, 'cause this city doesn't need more stories ending that way. So I hope that they see her, and I hope that they hear what she says. Oh, I hope that they see us, 'cause all the children keep dying the same. You should have seen it, I should have too, 'cause there's always signs, we just choose to be blind. Make me a promise that from now on you won't look past, no, you look and listen. 'Cause thank God her parents didn't lose a daughter that day. Thank God, 'cause this city doesn't need more stories. didn't lose a daughter that day. Thank God, 'cause this city doesn't need more stories ending that way. So I hope that they see her, and I hope that they hear what she says. Oh, I hope that they see us, 'cause all the children keep dying the same. All the children keep dying the same. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Hello? Oh. I guess you guys get to hear the organ song after all. No, seriously though, this is by far one of my favorite songs that I've ever written, and I really tried to capture the imagery of that place. My parents sold that house, and it's probably long gone. Like, it's probably been torn down and developed, but I want to remember it the way that it was. And so, especially when it gets to the bridge, you'll hear like really specific details from my childhood, like playing Donkey Kong or getting green tea ice cream with my mom. And like, that was such a fun way to write, because usually this is how I feel, this is what I'm going through. And so to try to tell a story and to try to paint a picture was a challenge for me, but I'm glad I did it. So this is organ.
My earliest childhood memories, I'm still holding on to today. I could never let go of the pine trees and snow. Oh, those river woods would carry me away. I'd like to go back someday, see the mountains from the runway. I think that it would be good for my health. Could I get back to myself? I long to be beneath the trees that helped me grow when I was green. I long to see that little creek where I spent hours playing, 'cause nothing felt material, picking raspberries for cereal. How do I get back to the kid I was back then? In Oregon. Oh, I still remember Melanie. We met on the first day of the first grade of school, and she stuck to me like the sap from a juniper tree, and we never noticed whether we were cool. And now we talk on Instagram about how we married two good men. We reminisce about the days when we could just be kids and play. I long to be beneath the trees that helped me grow when I was green. I wanna see that little creek where I spent hours playing. She made me feel invincible when we got sent to the principal. How do I get back to the kid just played Donkey Kong, getting green tea ice cream with my mom. When I learned to play my favorite song on the piano that she bought me, watching Dad fix old cars in the shed, catching crawdads in the riverbed. I lived in my skin, not in my head. Oh God, I'm always in my head. I wanna be beneath the trees that helped me grow when I was green. I wanna see that little creek where I spent hours playing, 'cause nothing felt material, putting raspberries in cereal. How do I get back to the kid I was back then? It's like she's waiting for me just around the bend in Oregon. Or could I get back to myself again? Oh, in Oregon. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. So we had, again, a little bit of an unplanned end to the evening, but going out of those acoustic sets, we're going to end it off on a different note. And after then, I hope you all go in peace and love. And Emmanuel's going to take us away.
Thank you, guys. This last song, I'm going to have my friend accompany me, Randall Rains. Can we get that?
Hello. It's on.
All right, cool. This song's called Poison. And this song's actually an extension of the first two songs as well, too. And this one's called Poison.
That shit feel like everything. When it takes control, poison's not an easy thing. Just water just like that cold summer rain. Let that wash over me, and I feel that funny feeling. God bless all my enemies. This shit hot now that it's me. Ever since I was a kid. I just wanted to forgive, living life like fugitive, not the way we supposed to live. On side things when we forget. Every time I'm on the stuff, the substance takes control of me. Poison's not easy. And your choice is not an easy thing. Her beauty takes control of me. Dances inside of my dreams. Sexy on the pole of me. Dropping money when I see it. Straight up fall in love with me. And I did the same old thing. I lost damn near everything. Oh, that's love, yeah. That woman feel like everything. Every time I'm on the bench, she gon' take me in. She won't shout me out. I'm gonna love you good, 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 good.
I've been going places with the same chick. Some faces like it's May 5th, stay lit. What's up, baby? Plus, I don't really walk around with anybody. I keep the laces on the jeans. Maybe I've been grinding through the great shit, striving for greatness.
I've been losing patience.
Vibes in the spaceship. Mommy, come and take
love's gon' fill up my vein. Now I can't see anything. Poison's not an easy thing. Feels like everything. That stuff feels like everything. That stuff feels like everything. Die. I'm gonna love you Thank you guys so much.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Amazing. So what an incredible night. Thank you, Zara, for hosting. You did a fantastic job. Round of applause for Zara. We've lost one of the artists, but round of applause for all 4, 5, I should say. Phenomenal night. Huge shout out to Museum London for hosting us in here. What a great space, isn't it? Like to get down by the river, and yeah, I love it. Great space. So thank you, Museum London. They have an event they need to prepare for, so we're gonna cut things off now. But thank you, Josh, Words Fest, the crew. It was all behind scenes here, making things happen. A very important part of all this. We would not be here if it wasn't for the dedicated crew and staff that make all this happen. So thank you, and thank you all for coming. We are going to move on, and we'll see you again next time. Thanks.